In the village lived a young man named Zanu. Zanu was known for his strength, courage, and his heart of gold. His eyes sparkled with dreams and his smile could light up the darkest night. His heart had been captured by the beauty of a young maiden named Aadayoo. Aadayoo, the daughter of the village chief, was not just beautiful but also wise and kind-hearted. Her laughter was like a melody, and her presence brought joy to all who knew her. Zanu had admired Aadayoo from afar for many years, but he had never mastered the courage to express his feelings. Every time he tried, something seemed to hold him back, be it fate or fear. But one day, he decided it was time to break free from his chains of hesitation and declare his love for her. Zanu decided that the bustling village market would be the perfect place to speak to Aadayoo. The market was alive with the sounds of haggling, laughter, and the vibrant colors of fresh produce and handmade crafts. As Zanu approached Aadayoo, who was selecting yams, his heart pounded like the drums at the village festival. Aadayoo, he began, trying to steady his voice. May I speak with you for a moment? Aadayoo turned and smiled, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. Of course, Zanu, what is it? Just as he was about to profess his love, a sudden commotion erupted. A thief had snatched an old woman's purse, and the crowd's attention shifted. Zanu, being the brave soul he was, chased after the thief, returning the purse to its rightful owner. By the time he returned to the market, Aadayoo had already left. The next opportunity came during the moonlit festival, a night when the villagers gathered under the full moon to celebrate with dancing, storytelling, and feasting. Zanu saw Aadayoo sitting by the fire, listening intently to an elder's tale. Summoning all his courage, Zanu approached her. Aadayoo, may I have this dance? She smiled and took his hand, and they danced under the moonlight, their movements graceful and in sync. Zanu felt as if they were the only two people in the world. As the dance ended, he held her hand a little longer. Aadayoo, I have something important to tell you. But before he could continue, the chief's drum signaled the start of the village elders' storytelling. Tradition dictated that everyone gather around, and the moment was lost again. Determined, Zanu decided to try again in a more private setting. He invited Aadayoo to the flower field, a place of tranquility and natural beauty. As they walked through the flower field, Zanu felt a sense of calm. This was it, he thought. Aadayoo, there's something I need to tell you, he began. She looked at him expectantly, her eyes full of warmth. Suddenly, the loud cry pierced the air. One of the villagers had injured himself while collecting firewood nearby. Zanu, always ready to help, rushed to assist, leaving his words hanging in the air. By the time he returned, Aadayoo had already been called back to the village by her father. Zanu was not one to give up easily. He decided to make his next attempt at the riverbank, where Aadayoo often went to fetch water. He knew it was a serene place, and he hoped the peaceful environment would help him finally express his feelings. He found Aadayoo filling her water pot and approached her, his heart racing. Aadayoo, I've been wanting to tell you something for a long time. She looked up, her smile encouraging him to continue. Aadayoo, Before he could finish, a sudden storm rolled in, the sky darkening and the wind howling. The river began to swell dangerously. Zanu, the ever-protector, helped Aadayoo and other villagers to safety. Once again, the moment slipped through his fingers. Years passed, and Zanu's love for Aadayoo only grew stronger. But fate seemed to conspire against him at every turn. One fateful day, a rival suitor from a neighboring village arrived, seeking Aadayoo's hand in marriage. He was wealthy and powerful, and the village elders, including Aadayoo's father, were impressed by his offerings. Zanu's heart shattered. He had missed his chance, and now Aadayoo was to marry another. The night before the wedding, Zanu wandered in the garden, seeking solace. He poured out his heart, tears streaming down his face. Why, he cried, why did this happen to me? I love her more than anything. The next morning, the village was abuzz with preparations for the wedding. But as the ceremony began, a sudden illness struck the rival suitor. He collapsed, unable to continue. The village healer, after examining him, declared that the suitor was suffering from a mysterious sickness that would take months to recover from. The wedding was postponed indefinitely, and the suitor was sent back to his village to heal. The villagers saw this as a bad omen, and Zanu realized he had been given another chance. With renewed determination, Zanu approached Aadayoo one last time. They met at the riverbank once more, the place where he had tried and failed before. Aadayoo, he said, his voice steady but filled with emotion, I love you. I have loved you for as long as I can remember. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Aadayoo's eyes filled with tears, and she took his hands in hers. Oh, Zanu, I have always known. I was just waiting for you to say it. The village rejoiced when they heard the news. Their wedding was a grand celebration, filled with music, dancing, and joy. The couple lived happily ever after, their love story becoming a legend in the village of Toku. And so, Zanu learned that sometimes, perseverance and faith in love can overcome even the most insurmountable obstacles.